Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with the Italian Grand Prix last ? Challenge. Apologies, there's been no videos over the last couple of days. This video was meant to go live yesterday until YouTube decided it just wouldn't process it, which was always wonderful. So yeah, apologies for the lack of content over the last couple of days. It does now mean I'm a little bit ahead on content, so hopefully now I will have some more daily uploads coming to you guys as well over the coming weeks as well. But we're at the final race of this triple header in the world of Formula 1. Obviously, Belgium was really boring. Well, pretty much non-existent. Obviously, the Dutch Grand Prix a little bit more exciting, certainly very interesting. But if there's one track on the calendar that should deliver good, consistent action, of course it is here at Monza. And I did things a little bit differently. I let you guys decide. I put up a driver vote of who you guys wanted to see me drive as. So we have both Ferrari drivers, of course, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. We had Pierre Gasly, who of course won this Grand Prix last season. Antonio Giovinazzi, of course, his home Grand Prix. And last, and certainly not least, Sebastian Vettel, who of course took his first ever race victory here as well at Monza. And really, I think, to be honest, at least in my subscriber base, if you put Vettel in a vote, he's probably going to win it as well. Let's see, Sebastian Vettel is who we're going to be driving as today. Of course, to be honest, it really worked out well for us. The Aston Martin, obviously a very, very good car down the straights as well. So that's coming clutch this weekend. They're certainly going to be interesting to see how high we can climb up the order in the Grand Prix today. But it is Mercedes front row lockout, just like we got in real life. Hamilton and Bottas on the front of the grid there, at least for the sprint qualifying. It's the Mercedes front row lockout. Wrong way round though. Verstappen and Norris on row 2. They're the right way around there. Ricciardo as well in P5. It's all looking pretty accurate so far there. Perez, Alonso, Stroll, Gasly and Ocon rounding out your top 10 there, so it does start to change up a little bit there. Ferraris on row 6, a tough qualifying for them ahead of Tsunoda and Kimi Raikkonen there. Giovinazzi, certainly not the same heights as we saw from him in real life. They're down in 15th ahead of Schumacher, Russell, Mazepin, Latifi, and of course Sebastian Vettel ourselves rounds out the grid for this race here today. Let me know down in the comments below where you think we'll finish in this one as well. That I can assure you guys it's going to be a cracker, so make sure you stay to the finish. Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Italian Grand Prix, here for this last first challenge. And like I said in the intro, you guys actually did really come in clutch this weekend for us, giving us what should be quite a good car around this track. To be honest, out of the pole options, this thing is probably the best one to have gone with around this circuit. The Ferrari, not too bad a car, but I don't think it's quite as good as the Aston Martin top end wise. In terms of strategy though, we are going to go on a very, very extreme alternate here. We're going to go mediums to about lap 5 and then softs to the end of the Grand Prix as well here. Fingers crossed it does come in clutch. Better actually select the strategy as well there. But Sebastian Vettel took his first Grand Prix victory here 13 years ago. It does seem crazy that it was that long ago as well in the world of Formula 1. But let's do this thing here from the Italian Grand Prix then. Of course, AlphaTauri have won this race again since then, but it is 5 red lights. And it is going to be a very long hole, but it is lights out. And away we go. Off to a pretty mediocre start there. Of course, on the harder rubber, though, so we're probably not going to make too much progress in towards turn 1. Let's see if we can have a look at the inside of a couple of people, though. Oh, George Russell, I could just tell there, was not going to give us any room through the first corner there. Try and hook it up around the outside of Mazepin. No. So no progress made off the first corner, but we had the same thing last weekend. Obviously at the Dutch Grand Prix as well there. If you missed out the last first we did as Max Verstappen, I would definitely recommend going back and checking out there as well. Down in towards the second chicane, we will now send it up the inside of Latifi. Hang him out to dry there. Got to be really, really careful. A lot of curbs around Monza as well. Rather difficult sort of early on in the stint, just trying to get into a rhythm and everything like that. And of course, hanging on to the DRS is going to be very, very critical as well in the opening couple of laps here. So I think, you know, definitely points should be on the cards today. Not too sure just how high up we can get the order as Sebastian Vettel as well here. On to lap 2 though, you can see a lot of people going side by side back down towards turn 1 here. Are we going to be able to get close enough to Mazepin to go for a send? Up the inside we go. And that is well and truly sent on the Russian driver.
Great pass.
Team a fan of that one as well as we get very, very fishtailing on the exit, but making good progress early on. Next up, George Russell. Big snap of oversteer as he head out of Ascari there. Not too sure we kept that pointing in the right direction, but obviously with the DRS should make things a whole lot easier when we get on to the next couple of laps here. Of course, all these guys still a lot slower than us down the straights. Are we going to be potentially able to get a run on George Russell out of the final corner there? Of course, equal power units in the Williams in front of us there on our Aston Martin.
You'll be on the softs.
Don't think we're quite going to get close enough again down towards turn 1 here. No DRS, of course, this time round in towards the first braking zone. We've still got Kimi Räikkönen, who, of course, won't be racing in the real-life Grand Prix this weekend. I'm guessing battling it with Tsunoda. Saying that, as we come in towards the final couple of corners of lap 3, all over the back now of George Russell in this Grand Prix. Can we get a good run back down towards turn 1 here? We'll just use a splash of the battery, really trying to save it as best as possible early on in this Grand Prix.
Teammate ahead is 6.9 seconds.
So Lancelot still nicely tucked up in the points there. Russell goes defensive back down towards turn 1. And can we late brake around the outside? We'll give him a big old squeeze over the inside curbing. Sebastian Vettel back with fighting spirit this weekend there. Up into 17th now. I'm tempted to box actually at the end of this lap here, so fingers crossed we can undercut ourselves ahead of this backmarker group. Oh, a homeboy Italian Giovinazzi right in front of us there. Completely mins it. And that's right out of safety car.
To reduce your pace, it looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So everyone then is going to be boxing at the end of this lap there, and a heartbreak for Giovinazzi, home Grand Prix, and he is out of the race there. One car's opted to stay out. I think, is that Räikkönen? Is Kimi? Yeah, Kimi's decided to stay out here, being the only man that won't have to sit behind his teammate in the pit box. So you can see, oh, Mercedes have been held up dramatically. Everyone, it's carnage here at Monza, just like we saw in last year's Grand Prix. No one can get out of the pit lane. So the whole order is going to be completely jumbled here. I think it's one of the McLarens. It might be Daniel Ricciardo that's now in the lead, but there's nothing we can do. Bottas is right at the rear of the field. We got an AlphaTauri of Gasly in P3. Can he do the same as he managed to do last year in this race? And despite all of that, we're still back out in last place. So absolutely love that in this Grand Prix. Lando Norris is into the effective net lead here of this race. And of course, if you remember, back to the Belgian Grand Prix last, the first we did a couple of weekends ago, obviously Lando Norris came second there, so if he could win today, that would be a mega result for him. But Kimi will lead the way again after this restart, but I can't believe in all of that, we still end up in last. Right, well, safety car is coming in then at the end of lap 6, and the second half of this Grand Prix is surely going to be chaos and carnage here. Still at the back, we've got Kimi Räikkönen who needs to pit though, so surely we're going to be out ahead of him again in this race. But there are going to be so many cars out of position ready off this restart here as we try to get a run on Nikita Mazepin at the final corner. We don't quite time it as well as I would have hoped, but we still surely should be able to get a run on the Haas driver as we head back down towards turn 1 there. Mazepin already going defensive on us in towards the first corner there, right to the grass. You can see everyone fanning out in towards the first corner there. Mazepin goes for a send. We're going to have a look down the inside of a couple of people as well. The yellow flag's out. I think that's just for all the Constantina and up through the first corner, but Mazepin and all of that has made up 5 places. We've got past Ocon and Latifi once more in this Grand Prix. It's really now we need Kimi Räikkönen to stay out here for as long as possible. Mick Schumacher, I'm pretty certain, is up in the points as well in this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, of course, won this race back in 2019. Way out of position now, down in P16 here. Has not been the day he would have wanted for Ferrari so far there. But yeah, that safety car has just completely shaken up the order here. And now we got Haas cars trying to hold everyone up. Kimi Räikkönen trying to hold up everyone from the lead of the Grand Prix there. As I think now Lando Norris, down around the outside into Ascari, is going to retake the lead of the Grand Prix though. Stroll trying to look on Mazepin as well here. We got more yellow flags as there's carnage. We're going to just completely cut across there. What's else happened? Hamilton completely parks on the racing line. We got another safety car. So seemingly out of nowhere then, Hamilton has picked up a puncture in this Grand Prix there. Completely sits on the apex through the corner there. We take a bit of evasive action, and I'm going to be honest, that is probably the cheekiest move I think I've ever done on F1 2021 there. But I think Hamilton might be out of the Grand Prix there. We got Mick Schumacher running in like 7th place as well. This race has turned into carnage. So surely now Kimi Räikkönen is going to box in this race here. Yes, he does. So Kimi Räikkönen into the pit. So he's not, well, he's probably still gained actually out of all this there. He might not be right at the rear of the field there as Hamilton's still trying to nurse that puncture back to the pit lane. No idea how he managed to pick up that as well there. He must have ran over debris from someone else's contact or something in this GP. But in all of this, we're now up into 4th place here at Monza on the quicker rubber as well. We've got Gasly still P2 behind Lando Norris there. Schumacher, like we said, still in 6th as well. And we've only got 6 more laps to go. And now we're just 4 laps to go. Safety car will be back in once more here, and we got a real chance of winning this Grand Prix there. We had to take evasive action under the roadblock there, so I'm not going to feel any guilt about that as well here. Hamilton, though, trying to catch back up to the rear of the field, but we need a nice clean restart here all over the back of Lando Norris. That's not giving as much space behind the safety car as well. But out of the final corner. Oh, Verstappen. Oh, we haven't timed it well there. We've gone at completely the wrong time. Luckily, we're not under pressure from Carlos Sainz behind us as we head back down towards turn 1 there. But I really wanted to get a run on Max Verstappen off the restart here. We have still got quicker rubber, though, right the way through to the end of the Grand Prix there. But Lando Norris still leads the way ahead of last year's winner, Pierre Gasly, and Max Verstappen, who was never, of course, won here at Monza as well there. But yeah, we need to keep our head down, focus, get these tyres up into a good operating window. Again, we can really just hammer the battery between now and the end of the Grand Prix as well here. But can we at least get a podium? Could we still get the race victory here at Monza? I think for Verstappen's title chances, he needs Gasly to get out of the way here in this Grand Prix as we head back down in towards Ascari, though. We're just trying to build the temperature back in the rubber again. Obviously, AI very, very good on the opening lap after a pit stop here. But Lando Norris trying to break away. Here comes Verstappen on Pierre Gasly as we head down in towards the final corner of the lap there. Are we going to see Verstappen hooking up right on the outside there? He's done it. Verstappen, a power move on his former teammate Pierre Gasly there out of the final corner. We've used all the battery on that lap there, but Gasly, he's coming back at him.
We need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Team just warning us about the tyres there, but I absolutely could not care less at the moment as Gasly back up the inside in towards turn 1 there. Are we going to be able to hook it up and get a run on the pair of them on the exit there? Gasly does get better traction than Verstappen as well there, but all this is doing is allowing Lando Norris to break away in this Grand Prix there. Can we get a run on the pair of them here as we go down around the outside of Verstappen here, down around the outside of Gasly in towards the second chicane? There is a power move on both of the Honda powered cars there. We are up into P2 of this Italian Grand Prix there. This one has been such a crazy race up to now, but we've got 2 seconds to close up to Lando Norris. Can we do the impossible? We are definitely still quicker than Lando Norris at the moment in this race, but we need to try and hang on and get some DRS on him in towards the final lap here if we want any chance of being able to do anything against the McLaren. I don't think we're going to be close enough as we get in towards the final lap here, but we could still get a good run out of Parabolic here just to get ourselves a little bit closer. We are pushing like absolute crazy at this late stage of the Grand Prix there. Are we going to see Lando Norris take his very first victory in Formula 1?
Final lap of the race.
We should be close enough for some DRS though as we head in towards the Ascari chicane there. The gap down to just 0.7 of a second between myself and Lando Norris, and we need to use absolutely everything we've got left in the tank at this stage of the day there. We are slowly but surely closing in on Lando Norris as we head down here, but we aren't going to be close enough this time around. Slam on the anchors at the 100 metre ball. They're really just attacking everything in towards the final few corners of this Italian Grand Prix. Their big wobble as we head out of the Ascari chicane there, but are we going to be close enough to Lando Norris to go for something on the final lap of this Grand Prix? It is going to be so close between myself and the McLaren there, but we just don't quite have enough right at the end of the Italian Grand Prix there. Give it one more lap, we would have had him, but Lando Norris wins and lasts to second.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Sebastian Vettel would definitely be my first choice. He showed up a lot of the drivers out on the track today and didn't show any signs of slowing down.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I honestly thought right towards the end there we could have done it. I genuinely reckon we almost had Lando Norris at the end of the Grand Prix there, but 20th to second isn't too bad going from Sebastian Vettel there. Obviously robbed of the podium at the Hungaroring a few weeks back. Obviously that one podium at Baku so far this year. It's the 3rd time he's taken a trophy in this season so far, though. But it is Lando Norris who takes home the race victory by just 0.3 of a second there. The McLaren top-end speed coming in clutch at the end of the day there. Verstappen finishes just behind us ahead of Sainz, Gasly and Alonso there. Ricciardo, Bottas, Schumacher does get points for Haas as while they're ahead of Esteban Ocon with Alpine as well there. You can see the rest of your finishers as well. Hamilton down in 13th place. There a decent recovery by him. Latifi down in 18th. I'm guessing he got a 5-second penalty for crashing with Sergio Perez there. With Giovinazzi, the homeboy, the only man not to make it to the checkered flag as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. If the Italian Grand Prix is anything as exciting as this, we are in for an absolute show this weekend as well there. But yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 content. A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.